Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of determining slope. This is standard A.3A in the great state of Texas, and we are using number 41 off the Redesign Practice Online STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we need to find the slope of a line that passes through those 2 points. If we forget about slope, let's open up our reference chart here. And you are going to see our linear equations. We've got standard form, we've got slope-intercept form, point-slope form. It's going to be that fourth one right there. M equals change in y over change in x. So let's open up our graph draw feature and make it a little bit more transparent here, so we can see what's going on. So really we're just looking at that rise over run. Remember that m, that slope, is the rise over run, which is the change in y over the change in x. So we don't necessarily need to graph this. They've just given us 2 coordinates. So it doesn't matter which one is x1 and which one is x2, or which one is y1, which one is y2. So let's see what happens if we just label this first pair as x1 and y1, and the second pair as x2 and y2. And I always suggest labeling these so you don't get them confused. Because if you don't match up x2 with y2 or x1 with y1, you will get the wrong answer. Alright, so my y2 is negative 12. My y1 is 18, so I'm going to subtract negative 12 minus 18. And then my x2 is going to be negative 5. And then my x1 is 10. So it's going to be negative 5 minus 10. So since they're both negative, it's like you're adding 2 different negative numbers. It's the same as if I were to do negative 12 plus negative 18. So that's going to end up being negative 30 over negative 15. That's the same as if I were to do negative 5 plus negative 10. It's the same thing as negative 5 minus 10, because a plus and a minus always make a minus. And so you get 30 divided by 15 is 2, and you get a negative and a negative make a positive, 2. Now, I said it doesn't really matter which one was the x1 and which one was the x2, so let's flip those. Let's say that's going to be x2, and that's going to be y2. And then that second pair is actually going to be your x1 and your y1. Let's see if it really does matter whether we get the same answer or not. Alright, so I've got my x2 and my y2 are now this first pair. So my y2 is actually 18, right? And now I'm going to subtract minus 12. So subtracting minus 12 is going to be like adding 12. Okay? And then my x2 is 10. Then I'm going to subtract negative 5. So that's like adding. And that's also like adding when you subtract a negative. So 18 plus 12 is going to get you 30. 10 plus 5, that gets you 15. So yeah, that does get you the exact same answer. So the only thing that happens when you switch the x1 and the x2 is the difference here, right? So this negative 12 minus 15 had a difference of negative 30. All that happens is it flips the positive or the negative of both, the top and the bottom, the numerator and the denominator. So this negative 30 over negative 15 became a positive 30 over positive 15. So that's all that happens there. So let's get this out of the way here. And you'll see we've got everything to do with 2's. I have that's what we're looking for right there, but we've got a minus 2, and then I've got a 1/2 and a negative 1/2. But no, our answer here is, we found it 2 different ways, B, 2.